Hello, Dice fans, and welcome to the coverage of the 2019 National Dice Masters Championship. My name's Ross from the Weekly Dice Arena, and I have been given the honor of spectating and commentating these games. The one we have right now is a top 8 match between Ben Scott and Junior. Two super highly vetted players. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Let's see what they're playing. First, we'll go to Ben's side. We got his team here. We got Danny Moonstar, which is sort of a new-ish card, a new win condition. It involves forcing blocking and re-rolling and damage going crazy. When paired with Doomlance, super good. So definitely a direction Ben could be pushing his team in. But I also see some sneaky Awaken shenanigans here with the Storm, as well as the Atom, which we know does tons of damage. Every time he spins up a level, deal 2 damage to target opponent. And again, when paired with the Energy Field Global here, which says spin down one of your characters, spin up a target character, it can get pretty gross pretty fast. Some other pieces, Atlas, the Global is here pretty much for some bag control. And Clayface Global is here to maximize the masks. That's pretty much how this team is played. I haven't seen it played yet, but pretty excited. It's sort of a two-prong attack, flexible, and Ben will have to read Junior and see which direction he'd like to take. Let's go to Junior's side. Blow! He's got something pseudo similar to what he ran last year. It's the common Yuan-ti, Pseudo Dragon, Zandala Cimber, Attune Fest, as well as Gold Dragon down here. So sort of a two-prong attack as well. He could go with the trifecta of Attune here. He could go with a Gold Dragon Rush. He doesn't really look to be teched in that direction, but it is definitely a piece that is strong enough to just sort of push on its own and go that direction. Some other things that are going to help out his game plan. He's got the uncommon Cosmic Cube. Says the first action you buy this turn costs 1 less. The next actions you buy the rest of the turn cost 3 less. That's bonkers. It means he can dump tons of energy into tons of actions all on one turn. It's also a 2-cost action itself, so it will trigger those Attune characters we talked about earlier. Again, flexible teams piloted by 2 super great players. I'm super excited to jump in. Best of luck to them both. Let's see what happens. So it looks like Ben has won the roll-off. He's going first. Again, first turn rules would say that if you go first, you pull 4 dice, you put 1 straight into the transit, and you roll the other 3. He's got Bolt, question mark, Mask, tons of options. Decides to go for one of Junior's Investigation dice. Never a bad play. Investigation, a favorite most recently for just generating lots of dice on one turn. Over to Junior, the right side with the white sidekicks. He rolls a sidekick, 3 energy. Can't really see what they are, apologize for that, but we will find out here in a second based on what he chooses to buy. He could also go the investigation route. He could also go a Yuan-ti here. He could do Pseudo Dragon. He could do just a variety of different things. Some things to note about the rest of the game is that there is the Resurrection Global, which says pay shield, prep a die. There is the Atlas Global, which says pay fist and prep a die. And also that tricky Clayface Global, spend a mask, move any die in your use pile to an energy face. Junior decides to buy Zandala Cimber for 3. One of the Attune trifectas. So Ben using Clayface there to get up to enough energy to buy Atom, as well as prep him for next turn using either Atlas or Resurrection. One thing about sidekicks, we see Junior's got a sidekick over here just waiting, either to be a blocker or with the Billy Club Global, you can spin that sidekick down into your reserve pool on its mask face. Masks being ultra important in this matchup for the Clayface Global, as well as on Ben's side, especially using that Energy Field Global for his Awaken shenanigans. All we can see so far right now is Junior with a bolt and a fist. He has 2 more energy. We just can't see what they are currently. I imagine he went with Zandala first. These 2 energy might be spent on a Yuan-Ti or something. Maybe Pseudo Dragon. He's going to Clayface and fix his sidekick with Billy Club. Going to buy a Yuan-Ti. Going to resurrect. Going to prep 1 for next turn and roll 5. Ben rolling out. His first roll was garbage. His second roll is better. 1 sidekick and the Atom. Now, things to note. The Atom is on level 1, which means Energy Field cannot be used on the Atom because you have to spin down a target character first. Then you can spin up spin down one of your characters and then spin up a target character, which could be the same character for now. But the Atom and Sidekick are both level 1 characters, which means there is nothing to spin down. Thus, the Atom cannot spin up and he cannot deal his damage to Junior. Sort of gives Ben a couple options here. He could field the Atom and attack. Since Junior has no field, it will go unblocked and go to use pile. He could field the Atom and wait for another character to come through. That way he could spin that other character down and spin the Atom up, and then start his down-up spin-to-win shenanigans. He could choose... technically he could choose not to field the Atom here. It would go straight to his use pile at the end of his main step. I don't see how that would be any better than fielding and attacking for 1. He buys a Shriek and uses Atlas to get 1 prepped for next turn. Passes to Junior, fields his Atom. Decides not to attack. He's going to wait for another character to come through, which he has bought a Shriek, so we will hope that Shriek comes out level 2 or level 3 so he can get that going. Junior gets his Yuan-Ti rolled on character face, which is important to get his team rolling. Unfortunately, his Cosmic Cube rolls double energy. So with Zandala and Yuan-Ti out, using that action would have done 2 attune damage. But because it's on double energy, he's just going to have to go for a purchase here. But it is noteworthy that now Ben and Junior sort of have their damage pieces in play. 2 attune characters for Junior and awaken damage from the Atom for Ben. Buys another Cosmic Cube. Resurrects again. Again, both of these players super good at bag management. Getting exactly what they like in prep, exactly what they like in used. Ben gets his Shriek. He's going to Shriek Yuan-Ti using that awesome token. Thank you, Reg, for the tokens. The community thanks you. Commentators like myself, thank you. So Yuan-Ti is blanked, has no game text until Shriek leaves the field. The unfortunate piece, though, is that both the Atom and Shriek are on level 1. Neither one of these dice can be spun down, which means the Atom cannot be spun up. You guys know how it goes. 5 energy laying for Ben. Let's see what he chooses to buy here. He doesn't have any double energy dice in his use pile, so Clayface isn't gonna help here. Again, you can Clayface a single energy die onto any energy face, which is helpful. But Clayface really shines when you have a character or action die in your use that you can flip 1 mask to 2 energy. Ben trying to be calculated here while not gumming up his bag flow. Thus far, both players have hit exactly what they want on the preps because of their efficient use of Atlas and Resurrection. Ben looks to be spending 3. Let's see what he reaches for here. Looks like another investigation from Junior's side. Again, basic actions are brought by both players and can be bought by both players. Going to Clayface, use a mask to bring in a question mark. Then he's going to Atlas to refill his bag and draw 1 for prep next turn. Junior's turn. He does get his Cosmic Cube to roll this time, as well as 1 sidekick. We'll see if he chooses to keep the sidekick, spin it down to a mask, or re-roll it. I imagine he, with that Cosmic Cube on its action face, he would like to have as much energy this turn as possible, just to lay on the actions pretty heavy. Unfortunate, he rolls a second sidekick. He can only spin 1 of those down to a mask. He does use the Clayface Global to bring his other Cosmic Cube in on 2 masks. Ben showing that Atlas is on the table here. The Resurrection Global and Atlas Global are identical, except for that Atlas says pay a fist. Resurrection says pay a shield. Resurrection being much more of a veteran card, been in the game for a long time. Atlas sort of a newcomer. As we expected, Junior uses this turn to buy tons of actions. He did use 1 cube there, which was 2 attune damage. I assume that damage went to Ben's life total. We're going to put that on there for now, but if we are wrong later, we'll know why. Junior, again, getting set up for a huge attune turn. He also buys a Green Devil Mask for 1, because, again, that 3 discount from the cube. Ben gets an investigation of his own. He's going to be able to draw and roll 2 more dice to use this turn. He still does not have a character that's not level 1, which is really the really putting a hold on his damage output. Thinking about using this mask for Clayface. He can bring that other investigation in on 2 generics, if he so chooses. He could also bring in 1 of those sidekick dice on any of their energy sides. I feel like the way this game is shaking out right now is Ben sort of in a pinch, needs a character that's not level 1. Junior's just sort of... So he just bought that Danny, by the way, and then investigated, so it went straight into his bag. Sorry, he rolled it from his bag. Still does not have a level 2 or 3 character. But I feel like Junior, the longer the game goes, the more set he's going to be. But Ben's team is capable of huge chunks of damage. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage mitigation on Junior's side. Green Devil Mask probably being the most disruptive piece that he has. He also has Shriek, but we haven't seen him reach that direction yet. The good news is Junior can use his attune damage on character dice as well. So if he needs to remove the Atom, if he needs to remove a Shriek, he has that capability. Oh, that reminds me. Yanti was Shrieked, so Ben may be at 19 health. Only 1 of those attune damages went off last turn. So another Cosmic Cube here for Junior. I imagine he has practically as many actions as he wants to have this game. There's another attune damage to Ben. Yeah, didn't buy any actions. Fielded 2 sidekicks, resurrected with his last energy to get that investigation for next turn. Over to Ben. He did not roll investigation on action side, so he's going to be stuck with these 5. He does have a mask, which is good for Clayface. Looks like he has a Mimic bot in his used pile from last turn, as well as the Danny Moonstar. Again, mask characters. See a theme going here. Going to be hoarding the masks so that as soon as he gets a level 2 or level 3 character, he can start spinning that Atom to deal damage. Uses Atlas and Resurrection to prep 2 dice for next turn. Really trying to speed up the process, getting to another character. Junior gets Investigation. Can't see the rest of his roll just yet. I imagine he'll clue us in a minute. It looks like Green Devil Mask on Double Mask Energy. And he seems to be content with that this turn. Cosmic Cube on Double Bolts. Uses Investigation. Ben takes 1 damage, thanks to Attune. Shriek really pulling her weight, cutting all these Attune damages in half, effectively, because Yuan-Ti is blank. Junior's still sitting with, I'd say 7 or 8 energy. All we can see right now is 4, but there is plenty more thanks to Investigation and prepping dice from last turn. Looks like he paid a mask to bring in a question mark. Interesting decision making here. I feel like Junior could go one of 2 ways. He could try to slow Ben down with a Shriek, or go Pseudo Dragon, really push his Attune damage to the next level. I was wrong on both counts, though. It looks like he spent 6 to buy a Gold Dragon. So Gold Dragon has been prepped thanks to fancy global usage. The reason Gold Dragon is important here is with Breath Weapon 3, he could deal 3 damage to Ben's whole field, which would kill both the Atom and Shriek at this point. It also is another Attune character. He also has a big, beefy body, so Breath Weapon 3 would kill Ben's field. He would come through for big damage. It does look like Ben is celebrating because he's rolled a non-level 1 character. His Shriek is on level 3, I want to say. He doesn't change the target of the Shriek, so Yuan-Ti is still blanked from the first Shriek. We're gonna see some spinning shenanigans, I have a feeling. Buys another Danny Moonstar. Again, masks are just good. Clay faces Danny onto double masks. Spins down Shriek. Spins up the Atom, which starts the damage train. Junior takes 2. Two more times for 4 damage. Junior quickly down to 14. Again, Ben's team very capable of huge bursts of damage. Also, things to watch out for. Ben has kept a mask for Junior's turn with a mask character in his use pile. So at the end of Junior's turn, when he passes priority, Ben's going to use Clayface Global, make his 1 mask into 2 masks essentially, and spin the Atom twice. Also, the other global on Ben's team that we haven't really seen is the Kate Bishop global. If Junior was to attack with something gigantic like the Gold Dragon, Ben could use this leftover mask to return that character to the field zone. Junior gets his Green Devil Mask. Green Devil Mask will trigger as soon as Ben has fielded 4 characters, which may or may not happen this game. Ben's team relies on really having 1 Atom in the field and just spinning him down and up repeatedly. But if there ever was a circumstance where Ben will have 4 characters in the field, he will have to instantly re-roll his entire field, which would be, devastating. It would clear the way for a giant Gold Dragon or something of the sort. Also, I think because Green Devil Mask was played, there wasn't Attune damage. I'm going to put Ben at 16, take a little guess-arino there. It looks like he does have Gold Dragon in his reserve, but it is rolled on Fist Energy, unfortunately. Again, it's unfortunate for him because Breath Weapon 3 would kill both of these Shrieks, which would free up his Yuan-Ti until Shriek could get refielded. Passes priority to Ben. Ben uses 1 mask to make 2 masks. Gonna spin the Atom twice. Down to 10 for Junior. Ben's turn. He's rolling 5. He does have an investigation there, which is potential for more dice. Didn't get investigation. He does have quite a few mask opportunities here, though. With 2 mask characters in his use pile, this is going to be big damage. Again, that sidekick could be rolled down to its mask face. So effectively, Ben has 3 masks right now. 1 to be used for Clayface to create 2, and then 1 from the sidekick. But that's only 6 damage. Junior sits at 10 with plenty of blockers. There's the Clayface Global. Brings in Danny Moonstar on double mask. Resurrects Danny Moonstar to the prep area for next turn. Spins the Atom twice. Junior to 6. And he passes to Junior. Looks like Pseudo Dragon, Investigation, a couple sidekicks, and maybe 1 or 2 other dice. Can't see off screen. But that investigation is going to help. He does have a Cosmic Cube there on double energy. Pseudo Dragon rolls character face, so now each of his attuned characters will be dealing 2 damage instead of 1. So there he's using investigation. That's going to deal 1 to Ben. Looks like I'm 1 damage off. Ben is at 14. Jeepers, I'm way behind now. He uses his Cosmic Cube as well, which, because Pseudo Dragon is fielded, it deals 2. Just a pretty tough spot here for Junior. Again, no real damage mitigation on board, and no control piece like Shriek in the bag. It really is just going to come down to Ben having enough masks, which, the way it sits, he could spend 1 mask to get 2 from Danny Moonstar out of the use pile, be down to 2 damage. Just a hard hole to climb out of. But it is, you know, if that gold dragon landed last turn, he could have these energies for Breath Weapon 3. And that looks like good game. The players shake hands. And it's over. Great game from both players. Super fun to watch. Super fun teams. Explosive damage. It was a real pleasure. Ben walks away with it, but great games to Junior. And we will be back with more coverage on this channel, so stay tuned. If you like the content, please be sure to hit us up. It's Ross from the Weekly Dice Arena, and until next time, see ya.